Hello everyone, today I'm here to review Season 1 of Star Wars, The Acolyte. Now this will be a full spoiler review, so if you've not seen the show yet, or at least all the way up through the finale, please do not watch this video until you finish the show, and then definitely please come back and watch this video. But without further ado, let's get into things. So once again, this is a spoiler-filled review, so I'm assuming you have watched the show, so I will not be explaining anything. But let's get into things with some of my negatives of this season with The Acolyte. First off, I think the show, honestly, it could have been longer. I wish we got more episodes with like Jecki and Yord working with Osha. We got to get a bit more time of them all together working to solve this mystery. And we had a bit more time for the development of May and Osha, especially as, you know, the sides they're on almost switched by the end of the show. I think May and Osha were very compelling in those first two episodes, and then episode 3 explained their backstory pretty well. But from episode 4 onwards, I was also like almost very mixed on the direction of their characters, as it felt like what they wanted, what they were doing, the sides they were on, their motivations just became very blurry, and they just almost felt like one and the same by the finale, which I guess is the point of the show of, oh, they're one person split into two. But like they still, like by the end of the show, like in the season finale, they have this big, epic, like, emotional moment of them reuniting by the tree, but I just didn't feel too much, because I was like, I'm kind of upset with these characters, because they just keep making choices that actively go against what the audience wants, and in a way, they're still compelling. They just didn't work for me as much at the end of the season as they did early season, but Amanda Stenberg still did great in her performance, especially in the early season. And yeah, I do wish the show had longer episodes, more time for the characters to develop, more episodes. The 8-episode season, I think, did hurt this show, as we didn't get to spend enough time with a lot of these characters. That being said, on to some of my pros for the season. Oh wait, one last con. I think the season was paced kind of weird with where they placed like the flashbacks and jumps forward. It's a weirdly paced season, which definitely doesn't help with the episode count. On to some of the pros, though. First off, I thought, like, seeing the High Republic era in live action was so insanely cool. I loved it so much. The costumes, Coruscant, the sets, the aesthetic, just their visualization of this world 100 years before The Phantom Menace was so cool. I loved seeing the Jedi at their prime. That led to some amazing action sequences. I loved the martial arts fighting. I loved all the lightsaber combat, especially in episodes 5 and 8. Insanely good lightsaber combat. Some of the best we've gotten in live action ever. I thought the mystery that they built was pretty cool, and I really enjoyed how it all kind of paid off in episode 7. And it's not a story about the flaws of the Jedi, but it's a story showing how Jedi blinded by passion and love can make mistakes that lead to the death of others, and also showing how the Jedi will kind of cover up things in order to make the Jedi seem better, which directly leads into the prequels with what we see Mace Windu and Anakin and Yoda and Obi-Wan all doing. I really like that. But it's still, the Jedi are still the good guys here. They just make mistakes. And I think that is best represented in Soul. Fantastic character. I love Lee Jung-jae's performance of him. He's one of the best recent Star Wars characters of just a kind man who wants to help others, but is sometimes blinded by that love into making mistakes. I liked Yord and Jecki. They were great characters, but I also thought, like, episode 5 was insanely good and daring, and how it killed so many people off, introduced its villain in Kimir, who I thought was played wonderfully by Manny Jacinto as a compelling, daring villain. I liked, episode 3 was an episode I was a little hesitant about at first, but I think episode 7 really made it work for me. I liked the music. The music was nothing, like, too standout, but it was actually really good in the finale. And the visual effects weren't the best at times, but they got better, I feel like, as the show went on, especially with other sets. And I really did enjoy the space flight in the finale. In the finale, we got the cameos of Plagueis and Yoda, which I thought were both really cool, set up a possible awesome Season 2. We also got to see the lightsaber force bleeding. I like that. Vernestra Rwoh was interesting, as she's a character that didn't really totally work for me in the early season with her performance, but in the finale, for some reason, she was just, like, totally worked for me. And I, honestly, for the most part, I enjoyed the show. I liked the introductions that episode 1 and 2 gave us. I liked the mystery of episode 3, the cliffhanger of episode 4, the intense epic action stakes of episode 5, the character development and drama of episode 6, the payoff of episode 7, and the finale and how it ties everything up, but leaves the plot threads of Osha and Kimir out there, as long as the tease of Plagueis and Yoda. I thought this show worked for me in very many ways, but that being said, I think it had some major pacing issues. I think it had struggles with its episode count. In Osha and May, I cared less and less about them every episode, just in how the choices they were making, just kind of leading them towards the dark side. I think that could have been more compelling. But overall, I still enjoyed this season. It's a Star Wars episode of Star Wars television. If season 2 is able to get me pulled back into the story of Osha, tie in Yoda and Plagueis, and give it like a proper amount of time to tell its story, I think it could be some amazing Star Wars content. But I also very much enjoyed this show. I thought it was a very solid season of television, and I would give it an 8 out of 10. Hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you soon for my review of The Boys Season 4. See you then. Bye for now.